Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be testing out the Hollyland Lark 150. So all the audio in this video is coming straight from the Lark 150 and nothing else. I'll be covering a few specs, how it sounds indoors, outdoors, with lots of wind, without wind, with the lav mic plugged in, without the lav mic plugged in, and also testing its full range and seeing where it starts to lose its connection. Also, Hollyland did send this out to me to try, but I wasn't paid to make this video, so you can trust that all opinions are true to how I feel about the product based on the tests that I carry out for myself. So with that said, let's get to it. So first of all, this is what you get in the box if you go for the Lark 150 Duo. You get one charging case, two transmitters, one receiver, two fairy windshields, two lav mics, one 3.5mm TRS patch cable, one 3.5mm TRS to TRRS patch cable, one USB Type A to Type C cable, one storage bag, and a user manual. You can check out Hollyland's website to see what you get with the other kits, but this is essentially everything that you get if you wanted everything. The great thing about the Lark 150 is that it has one receiver for both transmitters. You can charge both transmitters and the receiver via the case, and when you take them out of the case, the transmitters are paired automatically to the receiver. So this isn't something that you have to do yourself manually, which is just great. The devices have two-way mute, so you can mute on either the receiver or the transmitters, which is great because if someone accidentally mutes it on their transmitter, you can unmute it on the receiver. You can also carry out real-time audio monitoring during a shoot, as you can plug your headphones in directly to the receiver. So if you have a camera that doesn't have a headphone port, this is a great feature to have. You can check audio levels and which tracks you're recording to via the OLED display. This is great indoors, but outdoors, once the display dims, it is a bit difficult to see it at a glance in really bright conditions, but at its full brightness, it's really good. The battery life for the transmitters is about 4.5 hours, and with the receiver you'll get about 7.5 hours out of it. The transmitters take about 45 minutes to charge, the receiver takes about 65 minutes to charge, and the case itself takes about 2.5 hours to charge. The case will charge everything up to 2.5 times. So basically, if both transmitters and the receiver were depleted, you could effectively charge them all 2.5 times over with the case, which is just awesome. If you're out and about, you're moving around between locations, you can just pop them in the case and they'll all charge. There are three modes that you can cycle between: mono, stereo, and safety track mode. The mono mode is best used when using one transmitter to record audio from one person. You can use it when using both transmitters, but then your audio for both people will be on one track. So if you're recording two people, you'll want to use stereo mode so that the tracks are basically split up, so that one person's on the left channel and the other person's on the right channel. It's just a safer way to do it so that you can basically manipulate each person's audio independently of the other. And lastly, the safety track records at -6 decibels. So if you have someone who fluctuates whilst they're talking, you can have that safety measure in place. When you use the safety track mode though for two people, it will record to one channel. So depending on your needs, you might be better to just use this track when recording one person and then just use stereo and dial in the levels for each person independently. So according to the spec sheet, the Lark 150 gives up to 100 meters of audio transmission with less than 5 milliseconds of latency. So you could effectively walk up to about 100 meters away and still get stable audio. And with the signal being partially blocked by, say, turning away your body, the device reaches a 20-meter transmission distance without signal drop-off. I'm going to go and test this. I'm out today to do the range test, so I'm using this big field and I'm just going to walk back that way as far as I can go and measure it out and see where the audio starts to drop off. So I'm going to mark it out with some pegs. I'm going to do 20 meters so that I can check that range of you know, turning your body away and seeing if it cuts out or see if it's okay, and then go to 100 meters and see what happens at that point, and then just go as far as I can that way to a certain point, and then just see at what point the audio drops out. I'm not going to be able to know, so I won't know until I actually get back to my PC and check it out. But yeah. I've lost my first marker, my 20-meter marker. Why did I put a yellow peg in with yellow flowers? So I know that the trees in the distance over there, there's a little, there's not a little gap, but there's quite a big gap between the trees and the hedges there. I know that from here to there is 100 meters from measuring it out. So I'm gonna measure out 20 meters again. I'm just gonna leave the tape there. Okay. Oh, I found my peg. I found the peg. So what I'm going to do is go back that way in a minute, but I thought it'd be quite cool to get a drone shot. So I'm just going to quickly set up my drone and then you can see the distance. I could just do this on Google Maps, but you know.
Please check it on the map.
So now I'm going to go and walk over to, walk backwards, walk up to 20 meters away, and then I'm going to turn around and hopefully, and then hopefully you'll still be able to hear me. Just trying to keep my eye on my drone as well. So almost at 20 meters, just going to turn around. 20 meters. So this is 20 meters. So this is the distance that you can go to, and you can still cut off the signal, or have something in between you and the transmitter and the receiver, and hopefully you should still be able to hear my back towards you. And I'm just going to turn around, and yeah. So now I'm going to walk up to 100 meters, and drone's still there. Awesome. I'm going to walk up to 100 meters so that you can hear how it sounds. So I'm going to try and walk in a straight line. I've got my back towards you still, so I'm just going to keep turning, facing forwards, facing backwards. I'm almost there. Just going to turn away and see. Camera. Keep walking backwards, and this is basically the point where we got 200 meters. Just going to zoom in. So, don't know if you can see me. So this is up to sort of the maximum distance that you can go with still having clear audio. So I'm gonna walk a little bit more, and just checking my drone. So let me just turn around. And walking around in a circle at the moment. It might be cutting out, it might not. 100 meters, and so now I'm going to walk backwards a little bit further and see. I'll just go to the path there. Back to 20 meters now, and so yeah, that's the rain. So my next test is going to be me testing how the audio sounds in the wind, and for this test I'm going to be using both transmitters, one with the lav mic connected and one without. So this is the wind test that I want to do today, and it's really cold. It's not constant wind, there's just gusts that keep coming by every now and then. So I'm recording the audio with the lav mic and with the transmitter with the windshield on. So I want to see how much wind the windshield cuts out when there's gusts coming along, and then I'll take the windshield off so that you can hear the audio without the windshield on to see how much wind noise gets across the audio. Yeah, I'm just going to wait for a gust of wind to come along, and then you'll be able to hear what it sounds like. And yeah. Also, as a reference point, I'm using the trees behind me so that you can actually see how windy it is. So hopefully, when a gust of wind comes along, then you'll be able to see it in the trees behind me. So I'm just waiting for the wind. I guess it's also useful because you can hear what it sounds like without me talking, so I'm just talking rubbish anyway, just to fill the time. Okay, so it's definitely picking up with the wind now. So I've taken the windshield off, and this is what the audio sounds like with the wind, with the transmitter, and then the wind's just gone again. I'm using both the lav mic and also using the transmitter without the lav mic with the windshield on. This is what the audio sounds like with the windshield on. And this is what the audio sounds like now with the windshield off. So I've taken the windshield off, a few gusts of wind. I'm just using the trees as a kind of a reference so that you can just see how windy it is. And this is what the audio sounds like. Okay, so this next test is me again using both transmitters, one with the lav plugged in and one without it being plugged in. So you can basically hear how it sounds in a room that's not treated at all. Now I'm going to hop outside as it's not too windy, and then you'll be able to hear what the audio sounds like between using the lav mic plugged in and not using the lav mic plugged in outdoors. This is what the audio sounds like outdoors in comparison to how it sounded indoors in a room that wasn't treated. So I have no treatment on my walls at the moment, which is something that I really do need to do just to make the audio in my office sound a little bit better. But yeah, this is what the audio sounds like outdoors. Okay, so the results of recording on just the transmitter with no lav mic and with the lav mic plugged in will really depend on the position of the mics, but I personally much prefer how it sounds with the lav mic plugged in. Also, the likelihood of me wanting to have this transmitter visible is slim, so the lav mic definitely wins. So I actually really like the Lark 150. It's just so light and compact, and the fact that you can just charge it up on the go with the case is just such a bonus. And if you're just out and about filming yourself or one other person, if the transmitter runs out, you can just basically switch them out, put the dead one in the case, and just charge it whilst you use the other one. It's just so handy. So yeah, if you want a quick, awesome solution for getting decent audio straight out of the box, you don't want to have to do anything to the audio in post, then I would 100% recommend the Lark 150. I'm definitely going to be using it myself. And aside from increasing the audio levels in a couple of sections, I haven't applied any equalizers or anything like that to the audio. So everything that you heard in this video is as it is straight from the Lark 150 as you get it out of the box. So I hope you found this video useful. If so, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about the audio, how it sounded, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.